I think as brands and retailers are collaborating and building new relationships with consumers, it really changes it in wonderful ways, and it takes it from transactional to more personal. And when you know who you're speaking to or who you're having a conversation with this way, it allows you to leverage great things about identity and AI to build more relevant personal relationships in real time, so a consumer feels seen and it has the ability to connect in a much more relevant way.
Heather, advertisers sometimes need a little hand-holding in this space. What advice do you have for them in terms of getting better connections and activations of their customer data?
I think really you have to start with identity, because as we think about this, it's all about who we're trying to talk to. So as we think about the signals that are out there, which is a more clinical way of saying the clues that we can pick up about who a person is and our ability to really understand who they are. And then we all know in this world that we have phones and iPads and different devices, and so our ability to understand who that person is and to be able to talk to them in a relevant way across those things, also through our ecosystem. So whether it's paid, earned, owned, to orchestrate the journey, make sure you know who you're talking to, you're following them through that journey, and you're making it personal. So it really brings the person into what you're doing.
Making sure you know who you're talking to sounds very simple, but sometimes this industry complicates things, right? So how does identity resolution fuel smarter cross-channel growth strategies? And please feel free to make it simple.
Yeah, I feel like identity resolution, and we were talking about this, it's a clinical sounding term, but what it is simply just knowing who you're talking to. And so when you have the ability to resolve who a person is and get to know them, then it sets you up for success in terms of how you interact with them, and then your ability to layer that with AI and layer that with speed. It just allows you to put the person at the center, which is the most important part of developing these relationships.
So the issue of silos around data, around practices within advertising have plagued advertisers, agencies, everyone for generations. Wanted to get a sense of the approaches that you've seen work in terms of overcoming that silo issue and getting more value out of collaboration.
Yeah, and I think you're asking a really important question. And so as I think about silos, there's always mutual objectives. And so I think as you think about, for a retailer, their shoppers are very important to them. And for a brand, their consumers are very important to them. So what are your shared objectives? And starting with those shared objectives, and then thinking about what identity, who you're speaking to, what data sets you're using, and why you're using them. And so, if you are collaborating in a clean room, you don't want to start with an empty container. You really want to think about who is the person, what do I need to know about this person, and what objective am I trying to fulfill?
Events like the one we're at, Groceryshop, are always future forward looking. So with that in mind, wanted to see if there's any opportunities that you've seen lately that you think will open up new data partnerships and open up things even further for marketers and retailers.
I do think data collaboration is the way forward. I think it's really hard to build your own data sets holistically for everything you need in a consumer journey. So I do think those data partnerships will be important, and I think it will be about really harmonizing and bringing to life in a much more significant way consumer journeys. But it's not just in terms of how we are speaking to the consumer. It'll be in thinking about data acquisition as well. And data acquisition, again, is a little bit of a cold term, but it's just really thinking about how you have that two-way communication and you're getting to know your consumer along their journey as well. And so you'll see better live streaming events. You'll see more personalized in real time at scale abilities. And we've been talking about these things for a while, but I think there are missing pieces like the identity layer and AI that are really coming together in a way that enables both the scale and the speed that's needed to do these things in a way that the consumer will appreciate and value.